We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
We're live.
We're live, everyone. So let's go on. Let's go. Hello. Welcome into High School Famous this week. Please, students, turn your textbooks to page 168.
I'll never like that.
I know.
I'm never going to like you saying that ever.
I'm trying this new thing, Preston, where the episode number is the page number I tell our, quote, students to turn to, because we try to be sort of high school themed, but not really.
Like it. Not really.
Yeah, so today's subject, we're going to learn about stunts. I'm Sean.
Stunts, whatever.
Stunts and mental health, probably.
I think we're going to do that too.
We get to talk about movies, though. We got to talk about everyone's favorite movies. So.
Oh, we can definitely, we could do that.
Gosh.
Oh, I'll have to think of what my favorite movie
Yeah, I
is.
know. I will have to do that also.
I'm getting put on the spot now.
Well, we didn't ask the question has not officially been asked, so we
True. Okay.
we
We might
fair.
avoid it.
We might just push that along
might
until
just-
we're out of time.
Oh, damn.
You are
As
Matt,
always,
who are you?
as always, I'm Matt. I was about to say that.
Got it.
And Sean,
And
you're...
I said I'm Sean already.
Did you?
Yeah.
I
And
never
I
listened to this while we're
I
recording.
know. I continue to be Sean. We have a special guest on today.
Yes.
This man, would you like to introduce yourself, or would you like us to say your name for you?
Sure. I think I can handle it. I'm Preston Corbell, stuntman of 20 years, retired now. And it's been a long time coming for this podcast. I've been looking forward to it. And we did a pretty cool game show together, so we're a little familiar. But I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you on. Yeah, so
For sure.
we were
it
all.
has been a long time coming.
We were trying to remember a while ago when we actually did that game show. So several months ago, the three of us were on a show that's called Stuff I Never Knew, and you can find that on YouTube. It's just a silly trivia game show. It's just for fun. And so obviously Matt and I knew each other already, and then this Preston was the third contestant.
This Preston.
I know
fella.
I'm stumbling a lot for some reason.
Yeah, I think we met Preston about maybe 10 minutes prior to the show actually recording.
Yeah.
And then we asked you if you ever want to be on. You said yes, and we've waited probably almost a year at this point to actually have you
But we're
on.
here. We're here. So.
We're here.
We're here, finally.
I don't recall who won that. Do you remember who won?
Yeah,
I know I lost by 1 point.
I won. Sean,
Okay,
you
Matt,
lost by
jeez.
many, many points.
Well, I did. I stuck true to my own form.
Yeah, you started really throwing it at the end.
It's what I have to do. I can't deliver serious answers all the time.
Yeah.
Preston, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the game Balderdash.
I've heard of it. I haven't played it.
It's where you have a card with a true fact on it. I forget, there's different topics, but it started off where it was just a word, and so you get the real definition, but everyone else had to write in a fake definition, and the goal was to try to get other people to guess your definition as the real one. And my purpose was always just to write the most ridiculous thing you could think of, and no one ever guessed my submissions, and I never won, but that's not why I played. I like to just be ridiculous.
Yeah, it became a game of how much you can make everybody else laugh versus trying to actually win it.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So, as you mentioned, you are a former film stunt performer. I'm not sure, is that the actual sort of title that you use?
We got to make it fancy, so we got to throw in the Hollywood word there. So Hollywood stuntman.
I didn't know if you wanted me to go there, so
Yeah.
I was about to do that. Yes, he's a Hollywood stunt performer. And I had a question actually about stunt work in general. I'm imagining I think I know the answer already, but I'll just let you confirm. There's obviously various types of stunts you can do. be it a stunt driver, be it choreographed fighting, be it just like getting set on fire or getting thrown out of a window, or all these different types. Are you required to be trained or skilled in all of those facets, or is it more like you can either be a specialized sort of stunt worker, or it's better to just have a little bit of everything so you can get more work? What's it like?
To unravel that question a little, because it's a little complex, but when you're going into stunts, you want to be good at like one thing, whether it's archery or martial arts or horseback riding, or mine was basketball, and I went on a show called One Tree Hill that was revolved around basketball, so that worked out. I got to do a lot of TV shows, and TV shows, long running, things are thrown at you every day. So you could be set on fire, you could be hit by a car. And we did it back in 2000, early 2000, so it's called practical stunts. Or as you see, like Jason and Freddy Krueger, they're actually doing real stunts. There's no wire work, there's no green screen. So older Hollywood stuff. But when you're doing TV shows, it's kind of like being a utility stuntman, a Swiss Army knife. So you got to be ready for everything. But I did Marvel later in my career, and a lot of those people are in martial arts. So that's kind of, and they specialize in wire work. So they're more specialized. And as we grow as an industry and further along in our careers, we see more specialized. So they're going to bring in people that really do one particular thing. But when I got to do stunts, I was really just, you have to be prepared for everything. So it just depends really what production you're doing.
Yeah. Did you do any like driving?
So I've been driving since I was like 13 years old. But I grew up in Orange County, but there was a speedway in Fontana, California called California Speedway, and it opened when I was like 13. So I got to get to know all the NASCAR drivers, and so driving and NHRA, Hot Rod Association, got to know all those guys. So I've real integrated into driving from a young age. So I'm able to do that as a stunt driver, and then I'm able to do utility stunts, so just a little bit of whatever. I'm not a martial arts guy, so I'm not going to pretend to be. One thing with stunts is you have to make sure you can do what you're hired to do, or you won't get to work anymore, because people are going to be, yeah, well, he can't do that, so why are we hiring him anymore? So
yeah, and if you show up and they're expecting a certain thing, you can't do it. That shuts down production for the day.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty pissed off if you say you're a martial artist and you're not. You're not going to get a good job after that.
I mean, there are a lot of people that walk around saying they know karate, and they just do like a pose, like they're going to chop something. I don't think
you need to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So I should stop. I mean, I'm not trying to get into the stunt field.
Stop telling people you know karate, Sean.
Well, there's the philosophy of fake it till you make it. So I just want people to believe that I can do karate, because that's people that know karate. That's what they say, right? They do karate. That's the first thing that that's official thing that I convince people with. But so it's more of to ward off predators.
Martial arts, sure.
What?
Yeah, I tell them. I know
predators
karate.
Do you have?
Well, I live in the forest.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but animals in the forest aren't going to be able to read your resume anyways.
Well, no.
And you can't. They won't understand you when you tell them you do karate.
I mean, I think they get the idea. It's paired with a fighting pose, and then they get scared and run off after they attack me and eat part of me. So I think it's working.
I think it's working.
It's working great. It's working like a treat.
There's a reason the camera's only on your upper half.
Yeah.
The other bottom half's all nibbled.
I look like a genie.
To touch on fake it till you make it, I did a movie called Escape Plan with Schwarzenegger and Stallone, and I got to just learn a little bit about kickboxing. So definitely not an expert in it, but I got to know enough to do fighting scenes in that movie. So it's kind of fake it till you make it a little bit.
So those are big names. So do you meet them, or do you just get brought in when it's like, okay, we need the people that aren't them here?
Yeah, it depends on the production. I got to meet them. I didn't work directly one-on-one with them. They kind of usually have their own stunt doubles when you get to that level. I did like Eastbound and Down, and I was able to do stunts and stand-in work with Will Ferrell, Brooke Shields was always on set, and obviously you have Danny McBride. Just a lot of cool people that you get to meet and you get to work with. I got to work with Richard Gere. So it's just some definitely cool things that you get to do where you would honestly pay money to get to do it, and you get to get paid to do it. So that's really cool.
It
Now,
does sound
I
like
was-
it would be fun to do.
I was curious if you ever doubled for someone, because all the people you've named so far, I don't think they're known for having very long black beards, and so
Okay, well, I'm old. So
Okay.
a lot of my work was, I mean, I've worked a long career, but I started in like 99. So I was a little baby when I started. But my main double parts were Lucas Scott on One Tree Hill, which was Chad Michael Murray, Kenny Powers, Danny McBride on Eastbound and Down. And then I was the bunny man in the Cabin Fever movies, which you get to wear a bunny outfit, so you don't have to look like anybody. But
Right.
I mean, obviously,
just a bunny.
and in 20 years, you're gonna look different no matter what you do. So you
Okay.
gotta kind of form to the character of what they look like. But I got a little less hair and a longer beard the older I got.
I think we're all getting that way. Except for Sean. Well, Sean,
beard.
if you wanted. Well, currently.
Currently, no beard.
Just wait 24 hours. It'll be there.
Well, that's not too far off. I did shave yesterday, so it's already rough. Anyway,
Yeah.
but enough about me. We're not here
Yeah.
to talk about my face.
We can do that next time.
So, man, how quickly do we want to jump into these little questions we have lined up for our guest here?
Well, I mean, we're still currently talking about stunts, and all the questions you wrote down were about stunts.
They were mostly me, but don't give me all of it.
Oh, sorry. I wrote one.
Yeah. In the spirit of being ridiculous, no, actually, these are serious, real questions about your stunt history.
Sure.
So we're
Totally.
we're gonna ask you questions about if you've been asked certain stunts, whether or not you've been asked to do them. And so, if the answer is no, then we'll just move on. But if it's yes, then you can elaborate.
Okay, sounds good.
Matt, do you want to lead us off, or do you want me to
Nope.
lead us off? No, okay. Matt's not taking ownership of any of this part. I think he's embarrassed. So they're going to start off more tame, but have you ever been asked to fall down?
Yeah, so a big part of doing stunt work is learning how to fall. You're constantly we fall all the time, almost anything we do. So you learn how to fall in a roll, when basic stunts when you're falling from your feet to the ground. And then when you're getting more intense of falling off buildings or falling off anything of heights, you're going to have to learn how to land correctly, because if we get hurt, we don't get to work tomorrow. So the answer to that is yes, definitely.
Okay, good.
Good.
All right,
That
Matt.
was as tame as it's going to get.
Yeah.
This next question is, have you ever been asked to punch at someone?
Yeah, so when we punch at people, if we're punching at like a star of the film, we better make sure not to hit them, because, we're going to be in trouble on that one. But we are the people that take punches. So that's what we're not the pretty faces. So we're going to take the hits and take the bumps. So I've definitely I've definitely been involved in many punch scenes, and you got to make it look like the head's going along with the punch, so it looks like you're actually punching and not side of the face or anything goofy like that.
I'm gonna veer off of the list a little bit. So have you? I'm sure the answer is yes, but have you been accidentally really hit?
In the face? Oh yeah.
Or anywhere,
And
like
when
if they're going for a kick or something, like any
Yeah,
like where
definitely.
there was not supposed to be contact, but there was.
So, I mean, a lot of times we do rehearsals. When you're doing TV shows that have something like 20 plus, I don't even think they do that anymore, but like 20 plus episodes and something, you get thrown in there, so you don't have a lot of rehearsals. But if you do rehearsals or, half the speed, a quarter of the speed, but when you're doing full action, I mean, you're constantly trying to go with the flow of whatever the movie is, whatever the scene is. So if you do get hit, you're going to act like you're not hurt, and you're going to get up and do the next scene. So you can't really go, oh my God, I'm hurt. And then kind of
Sure.
like, ruin the scene, because that's what we're there for. We're there to kind of get hurt, and we're there to take the bumps. So yeah, I've definitely been hit many a times.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to sell an actual hit, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. So have they ever used a take where you got hit for real?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah? Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Those are some. I feel like in a lot of movies, that's some of the best stuff. Is they catch something that wasn't supposed to happen, and it's just like, well, we got to use that now.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta act
It's like-
natural, like we really got hit in like a fight or something, and not like freak
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Oh, right.
All right. So, have you ever been asked to get swallowed by a whale?
No, I've done some pretty cool like shows and movies that revolve around water, and I've done a lot of underwater stuff, but I've never done the whale thing, unfortunately.
Okay. You sounded disappointed.
I do enjoy that.
Well, it sounds cool.
I do enjoy that either way. You still kind of had a slight answer to that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll be able to, if that'll continue on with some of these, but
Yeah.
All right, Matt, you're up next.
Yeah. So this is very similar in the similar vein of my previous question. Have you ever been asked to kick at someone?
Kick? I'm not really a martial artist, so I'm not really kicking at people, no. Other than like low kicks or sweeping them off the feet or anything like that. So very minor, but nothing major, no.
I hope you can tell, Preston, that some of these questions, my aim was to make them kind of the lamest stunt questions you could be asked. Yes.
Have you ever been pushed?
Well, actually, that's not on there. Matt, you're going off script,
Sorry,
dude. You're riffing over here. So
we'll cut it.
this is kind of this is kind of a reverse. Have you ever been asked to get kicked at?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you're receiving the kick, so yeah, of course, like in a fight, sure.
Okay, sorry. I apologize in advance for these questions. Matt, you're up.
Yeah. Have you ever been asked to be pushed out of the atmosphere?
I guess it depends on what you determine the atmosphere is. I've been pushed in the atmosphere of the scene of where we are in the part of area that. I mean, it depends on what you say an atmosphere is. I guess that's open for interpretation.
I like that answer.
That is, you're right.
You made that question work.
Yeah, it's completely open to interpretation, but I'm specifically talking about going into lower Earth orbit or perhaps further.
Shoot, no, I haven't done any like space movies or anything.
Oh man,
wish I did though.
Oh, see, that's a way to make that question work too.
I know. See, you're too good. It's like you've been interviewed in the past and you take yourself seriously. Wait, Matt, what? Oh, yeah, okay. I think you answered this already, but have you ever been asked to be set on fire?
Yeah, for sure. Fire stuff is something that I'm pretty good at. I've done many a times. I did it. One of my first films I did, Cabin Fever, got set on fire. One Tree Hill, which oddly had quite a few fire scenes. But the process of just, yeah, I know.
A basketball-based show.
And when I say One Tree Hill, they're like, what stunts are in that? But surprisingly, there are. But being set on fire is kind of a process. It takes like an hour. You get really super cold by the time you're like shivering by the time you're ready to go. And then you're ready to get warm. So the fire is kind of a good thing at the end of the process. But it's a very safe process. Everyone's around you. You know you're in good hands. And I like it. I like fire stunts.
That's cool. So,
yeah.
Go on.
Go ahead, John. Oh, I was gonna say I always thought it'd be kind of fun to try that because I think there's places where you can go do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just make sure you got your safety protocol in place and you're good to go.
No, it's what I was gonna say about you because you said what people think One Tree Hill, what stunts are in that. I think that maybe there's a lot of stunts or a lot of things that are considered stunts that people don't typically think about. I think people really think about sort of the big.
Yeah, everyone thinks about being set on fire, jumping off buildings, hanging off helicopters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are tons
of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because someone might think, like you said, One Tree Hill, probably not a lot of stunts going on, but I think that there are a lot of more subtle things that people don't think of when they think of stunt work.
Yeah, for sure. Something that's a good point.
Yeah, something as subtle as like a scene where somebody gets punched in the face. That's technically
or you just fall down a little bit of stairs or something.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even think think that's totally the actor.
Yeah,
for sure. Good point.
All right, you're up, Matt. I think.
Yeah. Have you ever been asked to be uppercutted off of a stone bridge down into a pit of spikes on a moonlit night?
Uppercutted. No, I can't say that I have, and I don't have a clever answer for that. But that is a pretty cool scenario.
It's very
Uh,
specific. It's almost Mortal Kombat-ish.
it is Mortal Kombat. I mean, maybe if you did mocap for Mortal Kombat, maybe
Yeah.
you could say yes
Yeah,
to that
motion
answer.
capture for sure. No, I didn't know.
Or
I did
even
Grand Theft
just-
Auto motion capture, but that's pretty much the only thing I've done.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. For the newest game or
No, old school
or-
stuff. But yeah, no,
Oh,
that was
old.
fun. That's kind of an art form in itself, motion capture. So
Oh yeah.
definitely people that are experienced in that can do it very well. But it's hard to learn. But mad respect to them.
That's something another thing I didn't think of is video game related stunt work.
Oh yeah.
I would assume that it's just all created on the computer and there's nothing else. There's no human involvement.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
here I'm wrong
all
again.
the movements and everything are human beings behind that. So definitely an art form you got to be good at. It's not something you can just kind of walk into. Those people definitely deserve props.
Okay, we've got. Have you ever been asked to? I don't know why I phrased them all this way, but have you ever been asked to break a pencil in your hand? Like you're frustrated and you just crack
Break a
that
pencil.
pencil in half. You
No,
know. No.
can't say that I have. No.
You just do it for fun.
I
Nobody's
think
ever asked you to.
we had a scene in one of the Cabin Fever movies where we're all in like a lab, and there's like this gooey substance. It was a really gory movie, and there's like this gooey substance that gets thrown across the air and lands on a pencil, which is really gross. But we never snapped the pencil, but that's a pencil scene I can remember.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the follow up of which type of pencil was it? I'm gonna skip. Matt, you're up next.
It was a number 2.
Oh.
Yeah,
The one you didn't break. Okay. Good.
but I did hold it. I mean, I did hold it.
Oh. Okay. You've held a pencil.
Yeah.
You got
The-
paid to
the
you got paid
pencil.
you got paid to hold a pencil. What a job.
Boy, it was
What-
slimy,
what
so
am I
it was
getting-
kind of gross, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, what am I getting paid for today? Oh, I have to hold a pencil for a while.
Well, a lot
Give
of
me
that,
my-
I mean,
Give me my per
body
diem.
double
And
work. A lot of
What's up?
like photo double work. I mean, a lot of it's just your hand holding the cell phone, or because they don't want to hold the actor there for another 5 hours doing it, so they have the photo double
Oh,
do it. So a lot
interesting.
of that simple stuff of just holding something that's not the actual actor either.
See, I wouldn't have thought of that as something that stunt workers do either.
Yeah.
I think that's the same reason that Tom Hanks didn't bother doing all those running scenes in Forrest Gump. He just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
Tom
Or
Hanks,
Toy
yeah,
Story.
no, yeah, he had a good stuntman for that for sure.
Yeah, his brother did all the running scenes for him.
I didn't. Is this real? I didn't know that.
Yeah, his brother did all the running scenes because his brother was actually a runner, like
So
not professionally,
okay,
but like
so this guy makes his brother do all the running in that movie, and he makes him do the Woody voice on a lot of the video
right.
games and things like that. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
Tom Hanks doing it for. I think Tom Hanks just does the movies.
I
for
think
Toy Story.
if you have a brother that looks very similar to you and sounds very similar to you, you give him some side work. Keeps
I mean, it's good
Other
work,
employed,
you
too.
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Tom Hanks can keep doing all the big budget stuff.
yeah. And no one's the wiser.
Well,
Well, we all know about it, I
Apparently,
guess.
yeah.
We're all
if we know about it, a lot of people know about it.
we're all the wiser, I guess. Well, we aren't until we are.
True.
Can we say that? You're up,
I keep
Matt.
getting all the long questions. Have you ever been asked to have your bare left foot be pulled toward a running egg beater only to have it get unplugged at the last second?
A running egg beater? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is what I said.
No, I haven't. Surprisingly, I haven't done that. Surprisingly, well, I mean, people have weird foot fetishes and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
surprisingly, a lot of
Tarantino.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, that Kill Bill scene was a little odd in the car, but anyway, a lot of like photo double work. You do a lot of like foot modeling or you're the actor's foot or something like that. Just like the hand. I mean, they don't want to hold the actor all day to do that. But I've never done the egg beater thing though. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
We're gonna make you very unhappy you retired.
Yeah.
You're like, there's so many stunts I've never tried.
Yeah,
It
I've been
sounds a little
inspired.
bit like a fetish film, but you know.
It does. Way to go, Sean. Weird question.
My mind wasn't my mind really wasn't there when I wrote it. It wasn't. I wasn't thinking about foot fetish at all. I'm just like, if your foot went in a egg beater, it could get ripped up, and then luckily, unplugged.
I think the weird thing is I don't think egg beaters are very powerful. I think it would hurt.
They just have to
But
have
it
enough
probably wouldn't
power
do any
to.
damage.
They just have to have enough power to mix up egg.
Yeah.
So maybe it wouldn't
Foot-
really do much.
Foot usually thicker than egg. That's what I always say.
Well, yeah, not for me though. I'm like a genie down there.
That's right.
What do we got here? Okay, this one. I think your answer is going to be yes to this one. Have you ever been asked to be shot out of a cannon and into our hearts?
No. It sounds like a pretty crazy stunt, though. A crazy stunt I've done is I got to hang off in a helicopter and escape plan. So, but no cannon.
I feel like that is a very specific type of stunt work. Is the people who shoot themselves out of cannons.
Yeah. That sounds like Evel Knievel kind of stuff, though.
Yeah.
It's when they don't want to hire a ball.
The ball's just too expensive, you know.
Yeah. The ball's asking price is out of our budget, and we got to pay everybody else, so we can't hire the ball. I mean, what's the most famous cannonball? We all know his name.
Do we?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any scene that involved a cannonball that's like super memorable.
I don't know. There's probably
It's just
something
that one fat guy where his stomach goes like.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah,
when
that
he's
guy.
getting hit by the cannonball?
That classic. Yeah, he wouldn't get shot out of a cannon, but he would get cannonball shot at him.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah, but I don't remember that ball's name was.
I'm pretty sure Evel Knievel did that stunt. So
I think he got shot out of a cannon, right?
yeah.
Probably.
Onto a midair motorcycle, and he landed in a pool of pandas.
Sounds good.
A pool full of pandas.
So
Living pandas or...
I'm not sure if you can tell this, Preston, but this is sort of my audition to try to be a professional stunt creator.
I think you're more in line with a comedian, and you're pretty darn funny. So I like that work, but I don't know about stunts, man. I don't know if that's a calling.
Unless you go the Super Dave Osborne route.
I don't know what that is.
He was like a comedian that would he basically a comedian, but he played like he was a stuntman, like his character was a stuntman.
Okay.
And he had a show, and the whole show would be leading up to this big huge stunt he was going to do. And then the stunts always went wrong, like he would blow up or some weird crazy stuff would happen all the time.
It was Super Dave
Osborne.
Super Dave Osborne.
Yeah, it was pretty good stuff. But yeah, obviously the stunts as he was coordinating them went wrong, but clearly, it was just a different type of stunt that was actually performed to make it go wrong.
Gotcha.
So in the end, it was still stunt work.
Wow, I've heard of musical or singing comedians, but never a stunt comedian.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Probably the only one. I bet you're the only one that's ever come around. A stunt comedian? Like I do stunt comedy?
Well, to be fair,
Other than-
Jackass is kind of stunt comedy.
You know what? That's right. The comedy part is, you could have an argument for or against that, but the stunt part's definitely there.
Yeah.
Well, and you could argue too with a lot of the stuff like Jackie Chan does as well. Is very slapstick. Slapstick comedy is kind of stunt comedy in a weird way.
I think that's
too.
accidental. Kind of slapstick comedy. I don't know if he would like that, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his take on that is, but I really wanted you guys to both just agree with me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
not
totally,
give examples of how I'm wrong.
Sorry, no,
Okay, no, we'll
Very, very quickly and easily.
Yeah, we'll cut that all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
Matt, you're up.
We're taking a step back again. Have you ever been asked to be slapped? What are we doing here?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Slaps all the time.
Okay, good. All right. I don't think we need to go.
I feel like slapped is the precursor to punched.
Yeah, it's the gateway stunt.
The gateway stunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been asked to be drawn and quartered?
Drawn and what?
And quartered.
No.
No.
I'm not even sure what that question. Drawn and quartered?
You
It
know where-
basically is.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah. It's a really awful way of killing somebody by they would tie each of their limbs to a rope and then tie those ropes to a horse, and the horses would run in 4 separate directions.
Oh, that sounds awesome to be a scene, but no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that would probably not be an actual person being used.
I mean,
Right,
yeah,
Or there would be
probably.
probably a lot of green screen kind of work with that.
Or a person with prosthetics, just depends.
Oh.
See, he's got you know the way the sausage is made, sir. You're
I was gonna say, the way to our hearts.
it's out of a
Prosthetics
cannon
every time.
It's out of a cannon.
Oh god.
No,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you're giving like practical examples of how my ridiculous suggestions could be pulled off in a show or movie.
Because stunt work is a practical form of
It is.
filming.
It's Hollywood.
It is.
We'll make it work,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we love about Hollywood.
Alright.
Is it me? It's you now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been asked to fight an entire lake?
Lake?
Lake, yeah, like a body of water.
I don't even have a good comeback for that. No,
A body of water that you fought in.
no.
I forgot about that one, and
It's so dumb.
I just caught myself off guard with that one. So I don't know if you can tell, but the only thing I consider myself good at, and the only thing I really enjoy in life is just making myself laugh at really stupid things I come up
silly
with,
stupid things,
and
yeah.
I just hope that others laugh along with me, and they usually don't. But I hope that you're not.
80% of the time.
I hope you're having a good time with these questions,
Sure.
because they are stupid. They are beyond
dumb.
stupid. They are very
Mhm.
stupid.
We all need comedy in this world in our lives, so I love it.
I'm glad that you are not hurting my feelings. You're sparing my feelings with that. Anyway, have you ever been asked to make a U-turn?
A U-turn, yeah. It's probably pretty cool though. Probably doing like a little drift shot or something. You can't just do
Yeah.
a basic U-turn. It's not a grandma's kind of scene, but probably something really cool though. You got to have like a drifting. If you're doing a U-turn, you got to definitely drift.
Of course, unless you're doubling for like a grandmother,
Yeah,
do
but
it.
yeah, I mean that's true, but
I think a J turn is more fun.
The U-turn scene in Driving Miss Daisy was excellent. You guys
spot
remember
on.
the U-turn? You guys remember the U-turn scene?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
spot
10
on.
minutes. It was 10 minutes of the film. It took forever.
So many jump cuts.
She kept yelling at her. He was going too fast.
You're U-turning too fast, driver. I don't remember their names except Miss Daisy, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me fix this so it gets read
Their surname.
correctly before you read it.
Oh yeah, I would have read it wrong.
You would have. You would have.
Yep. Have you ever been asked to look at a naughty magazine?
In a
Not
stunty,
that I can think of.
in a stunty way.
In a
Look
stunt.
at, like a scene with the naughty magazine. No, I don't think so. I think that was probably before my time with magazines. So
True,
People
everything's
actually was
digital now.
reading magazines.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, they weren't reading them.
Yeah,
No.
well, okay.
They were
Looking
staring
for,
at.
for very interesting.
They were
pictures.
pretending to read them.
yeah. All right. Have you ever been asked to zipline into the quicksand with all the vampires?
Wow, so that's like Indiana Jones and Vampire Diaries there.
Ooh.
I've done Vampire Diaries, so definitely a lot of vampire stuff, but no zipline, man. I've done wire work, but not on that show, so kind of.
I like how
So
it's specifically the quicksand with all like that. There's a specific quicksand that has all the vampires in it.
there is. There is. So like if you had ziplined into other quicksand, I wouldn't care. I wanted to know if you did to the one with the vampires or containing, the Earth's vampires.
Yeah, that's a fair question, but no.
So what type of stuff have you done with, like, what type of wire work are we talking here?
So towards the end of my career, I wanted to kind of do Marvel and DC, then that aspect of it, and all that's pretty much wire work, green screen, a lot of it anyway. not so much practical. So that's my experience with that. It's definitely an art form. A lot of those guys are martial artists and stuff, so it's just something that I hadn't experienced before. So fun. Injured my back doing wire work, so that wasn't fun. But I don't know. It's a different art form, so I wanted to experience it.
I have a question to jump on or to tag on that. So you're saying that wire work is not considered practical.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to frame that to where I don't get in trouble.
Oh, well, we can jump past this if you don't want
Where
to.
wire work people don't get insulted. When I think practical, I think of like Jason Voorhees, like or you're getting rolled down the stairs and there's no green screen, or you're getting hit by a car and there's no tomfoolery of wire work and green screen. You're actually getting hit by that car. So that's what I mean, kind of old school practical stuff. Where
Gotcha.
I consider wire work and green screens not so much. You're actually doing it. You're kind of imagination.
I see.
Gotcha.
Okay, because my mind just goes to, if it's not practical, that means it's CG, and so
Well,
if
half of
there's,
it is.
if there's an actual physical wire that's like lifting you and moving you around,
there is.
That's
but
still
probably
practical
your surrounding
effects.
is CG.
Yeah, I see. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Have you ever been asked to crack an egg into a hot pan?
No, that compared to your other questions is a pretty reasonable ask, but no.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's not necessarily stunt.
But hey, Matt,
I guess the actor could ask not to do it.
Yeah.
We've been proven to not know a
True.
lot of things that are. Stunt people show their feet and hold cell phones. We've learned.
Yeah, that's like
True.
some interesting stuff. It's really photo double people, but kind of the same line of work.
We promise there's only a few of these left, so this segment is
We'll
almost
move
over.
on to something not so stupid.
Have you ever been asked to cut paper with scissors?
I'm sure I have at some point. I can't remember. That's something pretty mundane, so something that doesn't stick out to me. But yeah, I'm sure I have at one point.
How about run with scissors?
Oh,
Run with no, that's too crazy.
That's the better. Yeah.
No. Are they real scissors?
No.
Because no, that's too risky, man.
Stunt scissors.
Yeah, no, you need like foam scissors or something.
The scissors are on a wire.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Matt, do you want to redo the order here so that you get to ask your own question?
One question I wrote? Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll do the next one as well. Have you ever been asked to be hit by a meteor without a helmet?
I've been close to being asked to be hit by a meteor, but it was always a helmet. There was always a helmet involved in that scenario.
On the meteor?
Yeah.
Yeah, the meteor wore a helmet.
You have to. Well, yeah, the meteor needs to wear a helmet. You don't want that. That's expensive. You don't want that to get injured.
How do you manufacture a meteor's helmet? That's prop department. That's the prop department.
Yeah, that's their thing. That's their concern.
All right, the only question I wrote, and it's still stupid. Have you ever been asked to grab a coffee sometime?
Okay, so coffee in a scene or coffee and just coffee? I'm sure we could have an answer for either.
Matt.
Well, I guess it depends on if you're in good graces with your stunt coordinator at that time, or you're kind of running gopher for coffee for the team. So, I've been the gopher for grabbing coffee for the team, or just enjoying a cup of coffee behind the scenes. That's what it's about, man. Just relaxing with that cup of coffee.
Nice.
Because if you would have enjoyed the coffee in the scene, you would have gotten in trouble.
Would there have actually been coffee in the cup, though?
Oh,
you know.
Why are you asking us?
Well, no, I'm just asking in your scenario.
Just
do you
kidding.
think there's coffee? Do you think we're actually drinking coffee, or we're just kind of pretending?
True.
I know. On
it just can't be black water.
Yes.
Or there's nothing in the cup at all.
I know that on Impractical Jokers they always walk around with like a travel coffee cup that has a microphone in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Next. So Matt, I thought you were going off of more like have you been like PA work, like a runner, like go grab coffee? But
I just thought it was
like, would you like to get a coffee sometime?
Yeah, romantic. I just thought it was a funny. Yeah, I just thought it was a funny, stupid joke, our question to throw in after all of that.
All right, now this one you don't have to answer to protect your reputation if you don't want to. But have you ever been asked to stunt a dog on camera?
Stunt. With all the regulations and everyone being so sensitive these days, you unfortunately, I don't know why, have to actually have a dog play a dog. It used to be a human's game,
God.
but these days you can't get away with the equality of animals. So for some reason, dogs have to play dogs.
The days of humans playing dogs are over. Hollywood is truly dead.
Other than the show Wilfred.
Yeah,
know what?
Wasn't that Elijah Wood?
Yeah.
Yes.
The American version was Elijah Wood, and the guy. I guess it was originally an Australian show, and the guy who played Wilfred was the creator of the show. So he did the Australian version and then came into the American version.
I loved that show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yeah.
It was very, very odd.
All right, that wraps up all
Yeah.
of our amazing questions, and I hope that the audience has learned a lot about stunt work and specifically what Preston has and has not done or been asked to do.
That was actually a real honest question I was going to have was, have you ever had a stunt that you absolutely refused to do?
No, I've always been the guy that's ready to go and do anything.
Okay.
When we're dealing with high production stuff, or high production film and TV shows, you have the best people around you. If anything goes wrong, they're the people you want out of anyone in this world. They're going to protect you and keep you safe. So I don't have that fear in the aspect of I'm worried about getting hurt, which is a great aspect or a great quality of a stuntman. The only thing I do is I wouldn't do snakes. I'm terrified of snakes. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Another Indiana Jones reference. Or Snakes on a Plane, I guess. I never saw that movie.
Oh, you got to.
So
I mean,
that love
you could
scene
probably
with
imagine
Dame
it and know exactly what happens.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that love scene with Dame Judi Dench, that was you.
Yeah.
That was the stunt that the actor refused to do, but you were like, put me in, coach. Do you call your stunt coordinator coach?
Of course. Put me in, coach. All right, you guys are getting off easy, though. What's your favorite horror movie?
Oh God, he did it.
Horror movie.
You're
You're asking two guys that are not big horror genre movie guys, so this might take a second. Wow.
You guys don't watch it at all, really?
I guess I'd have to pick from the movies I've seen, so I would probably have to. I mean, do we consider The Shining horror or like suspense or psychological thriller? What do we call it?
Psychological.
Okay.
I would probably just default to say The Shining.
Okay.
Then, if we call that a horror movie, but I don't know if
That
we
is a
could
classic
consider
one.
that a horror movie.
I really enjoyed Us. And,
I haven't seen that one.
That one's pretty weird and creepy.
Us, of course.
Us. What?
That's one of your pronouns.
Oh, sorry. Forgot about that. Forgot about my weird pronouns I chose. Yeah, Us is really good. I'm trying to think of as far as movies. I just recently watched. It's funny because now I'm gonna say just another pronoun. The show Them. I just watched that show recently, and that one's messed up, and it's supposed to be. It's kind of horror genre, but it's kind of suspenseful and creepy. And
I'm going to change my answer to The Addams Family.
Okay.
The original.
the original.
Yeah, none of the sequels.
You don't like
Yeah,
the
the
Addams
Addams
Family
Family
values?
was classic. You got it, of course.
The second one was all right. You had Joan Cusack. Is that her name? Joan Cusack?
Yep.
Yeah. And then I don't even recall the third one. I think it was just called Addams Family Reunion. She was Uncle Fester's love interest, the woman who was
in the second film.
Yeah.
Just trying to get their money.
Yeah, exactly. Those wealthy Adamses.
What would you say then is your favorite horror movie?
Well, I was kind of hoping this would be an invite because I haven't been invited yet, but I want to tell you my favorite horror movie when I'm invited back on the show.
Oh, look at what this guy did.
That's
like a
called
cliffhanger
suspense.
kind of thing, huh?
We're in our own suspense genre at the moment right now.
Gotta leave people on the cliffhanger.
You just asked us to be a bridesmaid in our wedding, and now we're obligated to say yes. This is not your first rodeo.
Dirty dog.
You dirty dog, you.
Well, let's let's talk about what you have now pivoted your life to now that you've retired from stunts. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now.
Yeah, I deal with mental health and specifically sports psychology. I deal with athletes, so professional athletes, and I think only way to understand them and how they work is being a professional athlete yourself. So I have that knowledge of doing stunt work and then having an education in psychology. So I feel like I can really relate. But that's kind of me. Stunt work has been a huge part of my life and a huge part of my identity. So that's kind of me transitioning into psychology. So being able to do both of those. So mental health is obviously important for all of us. And athletes deal with things and struggles that a lot of people don't understand or don't go through. So it's an area that needs to be explored. And I think people need to be supported in that area from people who know how to experience that and how to overcome some things.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense of having the knowledge that relates to the people you're actually dealing with versus just kind of being a blanket person over everybody.
Right.
So do you have like clients, or are you sort of a speaker that just goes and speaks in front of crowds, or do you do both?
No, I'm not a speaker. I am a psychologist. So I'm a sports psychologist. Definitely clients, but a clinical psychology, really just doing general clinical psychology, and then sports psychology on the side, dealing with athletes. Unfortunately, at this point, it's getting more and more popular where athletes can come out and say that they are dealing with mental health issues. But right now, it's not enough to do as a sole career of just dealing with athletes. But so I do that on the side. But I just do clinical psychology and just deal with everyone who needs therapy.
And
Nice.
so how long have you been doing that?
I'm a newbie, so I went to I did a lot of online school when I was in trailers on set, and avoided all the parties afterwards and all the fun stuff, and was just doing my homework. And so I'm a newbie, just graduating, and doing my my licensing internship. But yeah, that's where I am right now.
That's awesome. What's the how much studying is there? Like, how long of a program is it?
So it's a doctorate. So I just got my doctorate. So, I mean, you're 4 years undergrad, you're 2 years master's, and then you're another 4 years to get your doctorate, and then specialization in sports. So it's a lot of years.
Yeah.
Like 9, 11 or 12.
Basically like starting school all over again.
Yeah,
Yeah. Full 12 years again. Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff.
I think if I started now, I'd be dead before I finished.
Yep. You will be.
Yeah, I don't have much left.
No, I mean, I promise.
Oh,
I'll make sure to see that through.
you have followed through on previous threats, and so I'm not surprised, or I'm expecting this one to go through as well.
Yeah. I put out a hit on Sean once.
All right.
I promised I was going to get somebody to slap him across the face, and I made it happen.
You probably shouldn't tell him, though, and then you can still kind of pull it off, you know?
Well,
Oh yeah, I know. I warned him ahead of time. I said I'm going to get somebody to slap you across the face.
Wait,
and
is
I waited.
Is it one of those things where he doesn't know when it's coming, but he knows it's
Yeah.
coming at some point?
It
Oh.
was. I think it was like 4 months later.
yeah.
I finally
Well,
got
the
somebody
thing
to do
is,
it.
well, I wasn't expecting it to be coming, even though he said it was. 'Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not going to get anyone to do this. I said, people love me. No one is going to want to cause me any bodily harm. And sure enough, he actually found people very willing to do it very easily.
Oh, yeah.
But so on top of that, I was just in denial that he was going to be able to pull it off. And B, he did wait enough time where I had completely forgotten about it. And then just someone walks up to me and just goes psh, right in the face. He goes, well, he said like, that's for Matt or whatever they said.
I can't remember what he said. The only reason I remember it is because I literally wrote it down on my notepad so that I would remember it for later.
Yeah.
So there's evidence. I have evidence that I
the takeaway here, Preston, is do not get on Matt's any of his sides, because I consider myself on his good side and I still got attacked.
Yeah. I don't know if I know anybody in Austin. I know people in Houston, and we've established something about Houston earlier, so I might be able to pull it off.
Yeah. So, I mean, keep an eye over your shoulder from now on, because Matt makes it happen.
But it's just a slap. Preston can handle that, so
I know.
Hopefully.
He could probably dodge it.
Yeah, I could dodge it
do
really
a
well.
do a reverse slap like
Do
you're
a
playing
cool
Uno.
fall, like little roll situation.
Yeah. Or you'll know how to, pull away from it really well that it'll connect just enough to satisfy
Look
the
real.
person who did it, but it
Yeah.
won't hurt you at all. Yeah.
I just like
That's
someone
and
yell cut so I can get out of this.
Yeah, so but Matt requires them to send photographic evidence of the job being done.
Yeah.
So if you can make it
use-
convincing looking enough,
We can use
he'll believe that he got
prosthetics to
slapped.
make it look really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, prosthetics again.
Prosthetics.
So I explained what I knew of this technique in stunt work to Matt, but you could probably explain it better. A cowboy switch.
I don't know it.
Wow.
What is it?
Sean, we're about to school.
We're gonna
All right,
teach
school
this.
me.
Okay,
School
so
a stuntman.
a cowboy switch is where a stunt worker, performs a stunt, but then sort of goes off frame, and then the actor pops up without a cut. There's no cut to the film.
Okay, so it's a continuation shot, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the example I can think of, and this was talked about on the Scrubs rewatch podcast I listened to, but did you ever watch Scrubs?
Yeah.
So the what's his name, Dr. Kelso, the old head of medicine, chief of medicine guy, he was supposed to roll out of a moving vehicle at the parking lot of the hospital, and so obviously a stunt man rolled out of but then he rolled down past the bottom of the frame and then stood up the actor, who to make it look like he was the one. It's called that's what I know about what a cowboy switch is, and I thought
that's very common. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
when you're doing stunts, someone's falling and then the actor's on the ground and it looks like he jumped. That's a new term to me, so thank you for educating me.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad to. So, but so did you? What would you call that? Like, what was the term for that when you were doing it?
Roll out of frame. I mean, and a lot of like action stuff. I mean, that's very common to where you're. But it depends if it's a continuation shot. A lot of stuff's cut, but if it's a continuation shot, just roll out of frame.
Oh, okay.
And then that's their department. So the actors, team 1 with team 2 were kind of two different situations. So we know to do our stunt and we know to roll out of frame, and then we don't know what the actor's doing. The actor knows what the actor's doing, so we kind of stay in our own little organization there. But yeah, I mean, just roll out of frame. We know what we have to do. We know the job that we have to educate, and they do their own thing.
Okay, cool.
Very interesting. Huh? You're looking at me like, I don't know.
You look like you were going to say something.
I thought I was, but I definitely lost my train of thought, which is just fine.
So how can people get in touch with you to
Yeah, for sure.
for your current services?
So basically, I'm an old man, so I'm just on one social media, which is Instagram, stunt.beast, and we're very positive over there. We got a great community. Everyone interacts with each other. If you DM me, I'll chat with you. Everything's just really positive. Keep it light, and we like to. A lot of it's around fitness, so we like to help people, and lots of comments, lots of interaction. So just come on over and enjoy the positivity.
I will concur that if you DM him, he will message you back, because that's how we stayed in touch this whole time.
True story.
Well, yeah, everybody should definitely go check out stunt.beast at Instagram. Give Preston some love over there. Yeah, we would definitely love to have you on. We can maybe make it less ridiculous.
No.
No,
Matt,
more ridiculous.
we
We will up the ridiculous factor on the
I didn't
next
say
time.
that. I didn't say
Oh.
that. We hit the sweet spot on
okay.
this
We'll
episode. So
keep it right where it's at.
yeah,
That's a high school famous guarantee.
we'll keep it right where it's at.
We won't get any better. We won't get any worse. We're gonna keep it right down the middle every time.
Yeah, we're gonna we'll put your handle in the show notes as well for anyone to check out. And for those who are just listening to this in audio form, this will be maybe at the same time, maybe not, but soon after. If not, we will have the video version. This will be our first time doing a video episode of our podcast, and so you can go to just search at HSFamous Pod on YouTube, and you'll be able to find it there when it is there. I can get
Yeah.
another high school famous guarantee.
Yep. It will be there when it gets there.
Precisely when it's there. Yeah.
Exactly when it's intended to be.
But once it's there, it'll always be there. I mean,
Yeah.
unless I
Unless
delete
we
it.
get or we get canceled or something.
Yeah, we get our account shut down for
Yeah.
being obscene.
Or Preston gives us a cease and desist.
Of my own video.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like you to take that down. It is
We would like.
detrimental to my career.
Yeah, I would like for you to remove my face and audio. So it looks like you two are talking to nobody. So let's. Yes, and of course we're gonna have him back so he can.
Oh, for sure.
Finish up that cliffhanger of a best favorite horror movie question. And then also train of thought. Oh, I wanted to ask you this about what is the craziest, most dangerous stunt you've ever had to perform?
I think fire stunts are pretty dangerous. Even though they're a short frame of time and you have a lot of people around you, bad stuff can happen. It doesn't happen often. With a lot of stunts, bad stuff doesn't happen often when you're dealing with big budget productions. I do think hanging off a helicopter is pretty crazy. Even though you have all the safety precautions, it's still a helicopter and it's in the air, so that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
What about
that to me that would be the craziest to me for sure.
Because it was one of the propeller blades, right?
You're hanging off the propeller blades, right? You just spin it.
That's what I assumed is what you were doing. Was it going to be like a wimpy stunt, like the landing bars?
You can't have motion sickness if you're off the propeller.
I imagine you'd have to have a person of equal weight on every single propeller to make that at all possible to work.
Well planned out.
Yeah, and then you just CG out all but one of them.
Yeah.
Or they just create a consistent blur.
Person.
Yeah. See, you got the answers for everything.
I know, right?
Man. All right. Well, we're gonna have to come up with crazier questions for the next time he's on.
Yeah, this is gonna be our goal when you're on the next
do.
time. Is we're going to completely stump you where you will not be able to provide a potential practical application for a question that we asked. Yes.
Challenge accepted.
But because of that, there may be less questions.
Okay, fair enough.
which you may or may not be in favor of. I don't know. Matt, you know what? You almost let me get away with.
What?
We almost skipped the dad joke of the week.
God, I forgot that was a thing again.
So
wow, this is the first time the dad joke's
toward
finishing
the end,
off the episode.
Preston, I'll give you a little bit of a backstory on it. Not this last Christmas, but the Christmas prior, so Christmas of 2022, my son got me a 2023 daily dad joke calendar. He very immediately regretted it because he began to dread me calling him or telling him in person every day the current dad joke of the day. And so I decided to, every week on the show, pick what I considered the best one of the week, even though they're all pretty horrible, and read that on the show. And we thought we were done. The year's up. Dad joke segment is over. And my son, Christmas came and went, and there was no dad joke in the gifts I got. But then a couple weeks ago, he said, "Oh, Dad, one of your gifts came late, and here it is." And even though he hated doing it, he must secretly like it because he got me a 2024 dad joke calendar. So Matt was very displeased to learn this happened because he was not a particular fan of this portion of the show.
I'm displeased more so for the fun of being displeased about it because it's still a fun part of the show either way, as bad as they are.
Because I could just not do it and keep them all to myself. Be selfish.
Nah, let's do it.
Yeah. Don't be so selfish, Sean.
So here we go. My partner asked me to take the spider out instead of killing it. We had a few drinks. Pretty cool guy. Says he works as a web developer.
That's pretty good.
That one's pretty good. That's one of the best ones so far.
One thing I'll say is, so far I'm thinking that they've stepped it up this year.
I hope so.
So we may be fully turned around on this concept.
Nice. That's a good. Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you saved that for the end of this episode.
Yes.
That was a good one. Well, Preston, it's been great having you on, and we're going to stump you next time, and we're going to find out what your favorite horror movie is. And then we'll have to put out another question for a different genre movie that you can hold us to for a following episode.
And just so you're aware, when we say stump you, we do mean removing all of your limbs.
Ah.
Yes.
I get prosthetics.
By way
can
of,
if you want. It's free country.
Yeah,
by way of
that's right.
Sean's enemies in the woods, or predators in the woods.
The predators in the forest,
Yeah.
are going to be doing that.
So we have two people who look like genies on this show.
But who is it really going to be? Because Matt, you're the one that's, putting out the hit. So is it coming from you, or is it coming from my predators? Are you going to hire my predators?
Yeah, I don't personally do any of the work myself. I am a conveyor of jobs for other people, as it were.
You manage people.
I manage people.
You're a project manager in the area of hits.
Yeah, in the area of harming people physically.
Yeah.
So yeah, stunt.beast at Instagram. Go check him out. It was great having you on.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely have you on
coming.
again. And yeah, we won't wait a whole another year, maybe. Maybe we'll do it sooner.
All right. Well, thank you, audience, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
If you have a question, complaint, or threat for Sean or Matt, you can reach us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, or Instagram at HSFamouspod, or you can email the show at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. No animals were pleasured during the making of this podcast, despite our best efforts. All hail our Lord and Savior.
Stop telling people you know karate, Sean.